Hi, it's Monday, it's 3 o'clock. Welcome to Together Unlocked, brought to you as always by Together 2012. We're a disabled led arts organisation based in the main 2012 host borough of Newham. Today is our last show before we have our annual 3 week closure, or I should say, our last Monday show, because this is the last week of our 5 week Together 2020 Disability History Month Festival, which this year has had the title, for obvious reasons, of Making History. We've just finished our 4 day Together 2020 Disability Film Festival, and very shortly we will be announcing the CAT Awards. But first, some introductions, some audio description, and also a little bit of news about the rest of the week. So, I'm Jew Gosling, also known as Jew90. Today, my self styled hennaed Corona crop is hidden under a seasonal red. We decided it was a cross between a pork pie and a trilby, but really it's a pound shop holiday hat, which I usually get out at this time of year. So, just because we're digital, it seemed to make no difference. I've got pale olive skin, green eyes, really impossible to see under the huge bags at this stage in the festival. I've got black glasses, black wrist braces, silver coloured jewellery, and the cold has finally hit London, so I have a purple t shirt with a light purple woolly jumper underneath. Behind us, against silver curtains, you can see our Together banner, some Christmas decorations, and also we're not sure whether it's a Father Christmas or some kind of winter troll, but it's wearing a gold medal because
Yes.
last week, yet again, we won the Clockwork Paralympics. Wait till Wednesday to see who's going to be the medal winner over Christmas, when, of course, the medal holder gets to wear that medal for an entire 3 weeks. But before we go to the other end of our wheeled virtual sofa in the West Midlands, Julie, who are you? What do you look like?
I'm Julie Newman. I'm the chair of Together 2012. I have gold and silver hair, growing. I have dark rimmed glasses. I'm wearing which arm shall I put this in? Right, a black t shirt today with a tumbling fiery fox, which I'm very partial to. I think it's rather lovely. And it makes me think of that glorious Fox and the Cockerel session that we had from Sahira Khan.
Yes, the video Julie's talking about is one of our festival family activities with Sahira Khan, where she introduced her new film that is a storytelling performance for families where you also learn some simple British Sign Language signs. She launched that, well, actually, it feels like 2 weeks ago, but I think it was only 10 days ago. But I'm really glad you mentioned that, Julie, because it gives me another opportunity to say this year our festival has been digital, and as a result, it stays online. It continues to expand this week, and after this week, you will have still 4 exhibitions to explore, performances to watch, lots and lots of activities to engage in. You can also watch talks on practical things for filmmakers, including how to film safely, the benefits of union membership. So it is just absolutely packed. We will be taking 3 weeks to recover as usual, but there is a festival for everybody to enjoy into the new year, really. And I'm assuming beyond, because we always leave our programs up with the film festival. We always embed links if the films are publicly available online. And I know as part of our Join In From Home program, people are still being encouraged to watch films from past festivals. So, yeah, there's just tons and tons and tons. But well, we'll come back to Sahira later in the show. But first, the West Midlands. Who are you? What do you look like?
Hi, I'm Josh Surgener. I'm also one of the hosts of Together Unlocked. I have long blonde hair. I'm wearing a kind of very light sky blue, vibrant blue. We'll go vibrant blue. Hooded sweatshirt that has a grey lining, and then it has white writing on the chest as well. Um, And I'm also wearing my glasses today as well because I'm in kind of full student mode. But I have taken my hood down and my headphones off to at least look like I'm sociable for this hour of the day. But they will be going back on shortly. And for anyone that can hear rustling or screen shaking, there is a cat behind the computer doing her very best to be as loud and as disruptive as possible. So we're not in an earthquake, don't worry.
It's a cat quake.
It's just a cat.
We should maybe, I'll just pop in here to say, if you look under the main Together Unlocked menu, you will find first highlights and links, which is really important because we put up links to everything we discuss on the show. But then animal hosts, so you can see the dogs and the cats that make our lives much more interesting and fun while we're shielding, but also make the programming a little bit stressful as they prowl around, fling themselves at us, jump all over the kit. The BBC, this is absolutely not. We are much more like a kind of wartime underground broadcaster.
Well, I guess it's over to me now then. Well, yes. So I think that the cat, as Stu said, winter's hit London, and if you're a regular viewer, you'll know that winter hit here in about August. And I think that the cat has worked out that my second monitor is like a little radiator, so she's hugging it. So good afternoon, yes, and welcome to our last week of shows before our festive break. So I'm Robin Surgener. I am the business director at Together 2012, fellow co-host of Unlocked, and I am also known as Angry Fish in my arts work, and we'll explain the logo in a second on my shirt, and a former Paralympian. So today, well, behind us we have our lovely velvet theatre backdrop, illuminated in bluey purple Christmas fairy lights, and whilst I'm not wearing fairy lights, I am wearing fairly whitey grey hair, no rimmed black armed glasses, little blue eyes hidden somewhere in this screen, cleanly shaven, and I'm wearing a black hoodie, also with a grey lining and grey pull cords, and there is a logo on my left breast which says Angry Fish Training, and there is a logo for Angry Fish, and that is one of the other pieces of work that I do when COVID will allow.
Thank you, Robin. And I was going to say, Josh, one of the things we've always hoped from the start is this hour is just an hour's break from everything else, whether it's the student work you're trying to do when in fact you were supposed to be doing field work with real people, whether it's the endless problems with deliveries and PPE, PAs, anything else. This is our little break and we invite you to share it. Over the weekend, and of course beforehand, because it was a 4-day film festival, we had just a feast of films, partly as a result of the film festival. I think Friday's Unlocked, shall we say, left to ourselves. I think Robin and I just kind of abandoned the schedule, surfed the technical problems, kind of welcomed a drop-in unexpected visit from our virtual writer in residence, Penny Pepper, who then, not to do with us, but was forced off again by technical problems. And in the meantime, we forgot to do something for the weekend. So really and truly, guys, you can't trust us. But Julie and Josh did a wonderful live session while Robin and I were making merry havoc with Together Unlocked. They were running a wonderful session with Little Cog. Little Cog is a company based in the Northeast that makes theatre and film productions, mostly theatre. They also work with the Arc venue in Stockton, and we had Vicky Rayford Sinnott, who's the director of Little Cog, with the actor Mandy Colleran talking about their film Funny Peculiar. Now, we showed Funny Peculiar on the Powerful Women programme on Friday night, but I'm delighted to say it's available on YouTube. So that's embedded in the programme for people to watch. And the film of you interviewing them on Friday is embedded in the website programme for the film festival. We also have films of all the events. I've been a busy little bee. So I think on Thursday, we have a wonderful film with the broadcast correspondent Jay Hurst talking about how COVID-19 has impacted on his practice. He's also fascinating when he talks about visiting the Nightingale Hospital, literally just down the road before it opened, and reporting about that. On Friday morning, we had, let me think, Dan from Equity, Carwyn from Beck2, mustn't get them the wrong way round, to talk about all the benefits of union membership. Those videos are up on the programme with links to the relevant union websites. And then, like I say, Friday afternoon, we had this wonderful talk with Julie and Littlecog. On Thursday evening, we had an event with Justin Edgar celebrating his Reasonable Adjustment exhibition. That opened as one of our 4 exhibitions 4 weeks ago. And back at the beginning of this festival on, I believe, the 12th of November. We've put the film of us talking onto the exhibition page in the website rather than the film festival page, but there is a link through. If you're interested in Justin's exhibition about the reasonable adjustment movement, I do encourage you to watch the film. It's certainly very informative about the background. And then at the weekend, we had 2 more live events. So we had Sign Dance Collective International presenting their Time Project films on Saturday. And that was amazing. We had one of them in the Bronx, we had one of them in Croatia, and one of them in London. So you could only do that at a digital festival. And then yesterday we had Shadowlight artists from Oxford. So I think 4 or 5 of them had gone into the Film Oxford buildings, and each of them was in a separate room with the staff running around in masks in between. And a couple were able to Skype in from home. The rest had gone into the building because they just didn't have the connectivity. So this is a group of artists with learning difficulties who were talking about their Luminous exhibition. Again, one of the exhibitions we launched digitally in November. But there's a series of films as part of the exhibition, as well as installations and paintings. And these are artists who've been screening their films with us. You know, I think they make them every 2 years. So every 2 years for quite some time. And it was just lovely to see their faces. You know, the whole thing, I think the whole thing for me got real when it became problematic. And it suddenly reminded me that a real festival is not, it's not Netflix, or it's not the BBC where you just get a stream. It's those things where the films don't arrive on time, the films don't always play properly, the projector breaks down, the speakers break down, you know, somebody gets stuck in the lift, whatever it was. So it became much more of a live event, and I think it gave me lots of ideas for the future. Did any of you manage to watch the festival?
I saw bits and pieces of it. I mean, as I think I kind of didn't quite get to talk about on Friday was, in fact, the Reasonable Adjustment exhibition and video, which, we kind of were just going there when everything went kaput, shall we say. And I flicked through some of the other stuff, but informative would be a good description of it. I mean, I don't want to give too much away. I think it is one of those exhibitions and films that you have to make your own mind and your own inquiries about, but please do look at it because it's absolutely fantastic. And it just made me laugh so much.
Yes, and I think there was much more accent this year, things that made us laugh. I can hear my microphone cracking up a bit. Am I cutting out at your end?
Well, just starting to cut out, unfortunately.
Right, I'm going to let you talk and we'll just come back in. So I'm going to put you on solo for a minute.
Well, so hi, Josh. Remember to face the mic when we talk. We have to remember that one. I mean, Josh, you've been involved with the festival, but it's the first festival you've been involved with. you know, how have you found it? What have you enjoyed in the festival?
It's been a bit of a learning curve, certainly on the technology, as that's kind of been my role, is to kind of sit off screen and press lots of buttons. Um, I didn't actually get to see much of the film festival because I wasn't feeling very well. Not with anything kind of serious. I was just feeling a bit sick. So I kind of, unfortunately, I missed Justin's show, which I was really looking forward to after kind of listening to you talk about it. So I was really excited to hear that. So I'm definitely going to go back and kind of rewatch that on the website. And then on Friday, with Little Cog, I managed to kind of get myself together enough to facilitate the tech for that. But thankfully, I didn't have to do a huge amount because Julie, Vicky, and Mandy were just awesome. I just kind of put them on at the start, and then yeah, they just it was kind of an hour of I just got to kind of sit back and enjoy it. And it was really funny and kind of really interesting to hear them talk and learn a little bit more about kind of how they made the film. Because we had Vicky on, I think just before the festival started, when she kind of launched the film to talk about it a little bit, and it was all filmed using kind of smartphones, with Vicky kind of on Zoom directing. So it sounded like quite an interesting technical challenge, kind of artistic challenge to try and not only to direct over Zoom, but then also direct where you want the camera when you can't actually see what the camera's looking at. I guess could be a kind of interesting challenge, whether they're kind of taking photos and sending it like, is this angle good? But yeah, it was really enjoyable to kind of just listen to the three of you just chat. Really, it kind of became less of an interview and more of just kind of three friends getting a coffee, I guess, but kind of very spread out. It was a big table. But yeah, that was really enjoyable.
And I can hear that we've still got technical problems, so clearly it's not at my end. But yes, that sense of being able to pop into intimate conversations. I think we are going to have to stop stream and start again. If everybody could just bear with us and re-click.